A cis straight person can support the rights of LGBT people and then never, or very rarely, be personally affected by that support. They may never knowingly encounter a trans person or be invited to a same-sex wedding ceremony.
We are all being reduced to gay. Huffington Post, gay voices. And GLAAD, gay lesbian. Which is real convenient because the picture that comes in the mind is a cisgendered, probably white, upper middle class man who wants to marry to maintain property rights and benefits and access to partners' health care and that sort of thing. This is about white men's rights, and I see within the atheism community that it only goes skin deep. I run the channel GenderQueer Atheist. Oh, we're all about that. I support gay marriage. I'm not gay and I don't want to get married. Not a clue what genderqueer meant. Not really any consciousness about trans issues. For Dra Muhammad Day, somebody posted a meme. So that was supposed to be an insult to Muslims, because of course Muslims are going to be less inclined to be tolerant of genderqueer or people not in the binary. They made a laughing stock of being a genderqueer to piss off Muslims, to maintain, increase, and encourage transphobia, homophobia in Islam. So the acceptance is only skin deep, and I wouldn't get too excited about it because nobody's excited about corrective rape of black lesbians in South Africa, are they? And these are black lesbians who, again, don't fit the gender binary. They present as too masculine in appearance.
Zinnia thought this would be an excellent topic for me to discuss on my monthly contribution to her channel, as her videos about LGBT activism, however abrasive, are significantly more liked than anything either she or I can say about feminism.
I just saw an interview with Zinnia, filmed about a year ago, in which it showed close-ups of comments to Zinnia's videos. I don't think Zinnia's being so accepted anyway, because she doesn't fit the gender binary. She's not supposed to look like that. People get mad about lipstick for reasons I can't explain.
The 19th Amendment, passed in 1919, guaranteeing the women the right to vote, was the beginning of a century of notable advancement for women.
Do you know what happened before the passage of the 19th Amendment? Do you have any idea how broad the scope of feminism was and how many topics and issues were being discussed? Of socialized child care, of equal pay for equal work, rights to own property, the issue of racism, white women wanting to vote for themselves but willing to throw black women under the bus. There were so many other really progressive, really wonderful issues that if they hadn't been put aside with the focus all put only on the franchise, we would have 100 more years of advancement in this country than we have now.
Currently, LGBT activism is in its heyday. Friends, we just eliminated Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Countries all over the world are legalizing gay marriage.
There it is, gay marriage. The word LGBT is used and the focus is on cisgendered men, middle class, primarily white men. Don't Ask, Don't Tell primarily affected male officers. Do you see? And now the military wants anybody who's willing to sign up, because the military is understaffed. They want anybody they can get. They're desperate. So they're even taking queer people now. They're also putting women in positions of authority that women never had before. They just don't have enough personnel for this basically privatized military that works at the behest of corporations. This isn't about equality. This is about corporate interests.
President Obama is the first president of the United States to endorse gay marriage.
Gay marriage. And he doesn't endorse it. He made it a states' rights issue. A multiracial man The first president of the United States with dark skin made it a states' rights issue, knowing full well the history of states' rights with regards to interracial marriage. There's still no federal legislation that makes marriages in one state valid in another state.
The standards of care for trans people is improving, with many countries in the world providing full and free access to the medical transition, and even the United States, it is getting easier.
Not everybody wants, needs, or can afford to medically transition. What about those of us who are genderqueer? What about those of us who don't want to transition to an opposite sex? What about those of us who want to be the gender and sex that we just are? We're still being forced into a gender binary. You have to choose male or female. You have to choose which team you want to play on. Some of us don't want to, or can't, or are unwilling to, or don't feel comfortable in either of the binary gender and sex roles.
Access to medical transition needs to be as guaranteed as access to any other valid and necessary treatment guaranteed by the American health insurance companies.
We also need federal guidelines for how to be more than two genders. Hell, even on Facebook, you have to choose which sex you're going to be, whether you want to or not. The gay community is not even looking at this as an issue. Atheists laugh at me for calling myself genderqueer, for referring to quilt bag people. I still get laughed at for using that terminology. I get told I must be frustrated and bitter. I don't identify either as male or female, and I don't want to.
But what happens to equal right movements when their battles are won? When the privileged majority declares the problem sorted and moves on to another cause du jour? When, instead of cookies and claps on the back, cis, straight, white men still have to hear about how people of color are overwhelmingly impoverished and imprisoned, women still can't make a buck in spite of eager and overwhelming academic achievement, are getting raped left and right, and are slowly losing their reproductive rights, or the gender and sexual minorities are still forced into conversion therapy and sometimes homelessness.
It's not sometimes homelessness. Most of the queer youth living on the streets do not conform to the gender binary. By the way, I'm homeless.
In time, like feminism, black power, and any number of fights for real equality, LGBT activism will peter out. The work will be left to those of us affected the most and ignored by those of us affected the least. All the fun activism will be over, and we'll be left with issues people won't want to face. The primary discrimination affecting our lives will be difficult pills for allies to swallow. Arguments about very real pay gaps between straight and gay people.
There it is.
Will become as unpopular as arguments about pay gaps between men and women.
There it is again. Do you have any idea how hard it is for genderqueer people to find employment? And what we have to do to pass?
Attempts to explain how gay people getting in leading edge in, say, interior design actually limits people's perceptions of our capabilities will roll as many eyes as arguments that it doesn't help black people to say they're better in sports or women to say they're better at nursing. We'll scowl over statistics that show our disadvantages while the majority ignores us and wonder when it ever got to be so uncool to be LGBT.
I totally agree with the end of that statement. Thanks for listening to GenderQueer Atheist News, a sampling of the daily GenderQueer Atheist Reader. You are welcome to join us on GenderQueer Atheists on Facebook, subscribe to GenderQueer Atheist YouTube, and network with us at GenderQueer Atheists on Atheist Nexus. Links are available in the description below this video. Music by Kevin MacLeod. I'm Rogie Riverstone.